What was supposed to be just a fun video between a granddaughter and her grandmother ended up revealing a secret that could change the entire family's lives forever. The video begins simply. A pair of fragile, time-scarred hands holds a cell phone with some difficulty. The nails are short, the skin is thin. Each wrinkle tells silent stories that were never written. The camera focuses on these details while, in the background, soft laughter can be heard, laughter that carries the weight of years of complicity, but also something unsaid. It's a peaceful late afternoon. Sunlight streams in through the kitchen window, painting the floor a soft gold. The smell of freshly baked cake fills the air. Her granddaughter, Clara, just 16, adjusts her cell phone on a makeshift tripod, chuckling to herself as she tries to convince her grandmother, Helena, to participate in a video for social media. "It'll be quick, Grandma. Just a few questions so people can get to know you," Clara says, the lightness of someone who believes they know every inch of that woman's life. Helena sighs, feigning impatience, but she can't hide her smile, a sweet smile, but if observed closely, laden with melancholy. In the audio, soft music begins to blend into the surroundings, but almost imperceptibly, a second track fades in. Subtle notes of suspense like an omen hidden behind a half-open door. Helena adjusts the scarf that covers part of her white hair, looks at her cell phone, discomfort, and comments, "I don't know if I'll be able to answer." Clara laughs and comes closer, holding her grandmother's hands. "It's just for fun, Grandma. Trust me." And so the recording begins. In the first few seconds, it's everything you'd expect. Helena talks about old recipes, funny stories from when Clara was still a child, and even improvises a joke about the difficulty of understanding these modern apps. Her granddaughter laughs out loud. Her grandmother does too. Everything feels light, everything feels safe. But in the middle of the conversation, Clara asks the question that changes the course of everything. "Grandma, tell me the biggest secret you've ever kept in your life." The silence that follows lasts only a few seconds, but it's long enough for the atmosphere to shift. Helena, who had spoken without hesitation until then, looks away. Her smile disappears. She runs her fingers over her apron as if searching for something to hold on to. "Ah, girl, we take these things to the grave," he answers in a low tone. Clara persists, believing her grandmother will respond with some innocent anecdote from the past. But Helena closes her eyes for a brief moment, and when she opens them, there's something different in them, a mixture of sadness, fear, and perhaps regret. Then, almost as if speaking to herself, she murmurs, "I'm not who you think I am." The words are spoken so softly that, for a moment, Clara thinks she's misheard. But the camera, always on, captures every syllable. Clara forces a smile, trying to break the awkward atmosphere, and changes the subject. The video continues for a few more minutes, but the energy is no longer the same. Helena's answers are shorter, more distracted, glancing out the window from time to time, as if afraid someone outside might hear her. Hours later, while reviewing the images to select the best moments, Clara decided to post that excerpt on social media, believing the mysterious phrase would be a hit and draw curious comments. She didn't imagine, however, that this innocent choice would be the trigger that opened doors her family never wanted to open. In less than 12 hours, the video has reached millions of views. Amidst the laughter and theories in the comments, one stands out. I know this woman. She disappeared over 50 years ago. And from that moment on, what was once just an affectionate record between granddaughter and grandmother turns into a race against time to discover the truth. Maybe Helena's statement wasn't just a vague confession. Maybe it was a cry for help. And the more people saw that video, the clearer it became that there was something dark and dangerous lurking between the lines. Now, there remains one question that no one knows the answer to. If the truth finally comes out, will everyone be ready to hear it? Clara was 16, that age when the world seems to open up into endless possibilities, while everything still holds a certain innocence and magic. For her, afternoons were a refuge, and her favorite refuge was the house of her grandmother, Helena, an 82-year-old woman with snow-white hair, eyes full of stories, and a smile so sweet it seemed capable of healing any sadness. That day, Clara arrived at her grandmother's house carrying her cell phone with a simple idea: to record a video for social media. It wasn't elaborate, nothing perfectly planned, just a spontaneous moment to show the world her grandmother's unique and playful personality, the same woman who, for Clara, was synonymous with comfort, security, and unconditional love. Helena welcomed her granddaughter with a warm hug, the kind that seems to embrace the soul. The house, old and cozy, exuded memories in every corner. The smell of cake baking mingled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, and the soft afternoon sunlight streamed in through the kitchen window, casting delicate shadows on the wooden table where the family's old recipes were spread out. The camera begins to capture natural scenes. Clara and Helena together, sorting through papers yellowed with age, laughing at the anecdotes their grandmother tells in a soft but firm voice. Helena was a woman who, despite her 82 years, carried a contagious vitality, even though, behind that vitality, she hid something no one in the neighborhood knew. She was known for her open smile and the kindness with which she treated everyone, but also for a silence that seemed heavy in the air whenever the past was mentioned, a silence respected and never questioned by those around her, a silence that shrouded a history no one ever dared to uncover. That day, Clara just wanted to capture a bit of that affection and lightness. To her, her grandmother was a treasure, and in that video, she wanted to show the world how special Helena was. The plan was simple: a fun video full of laughter, family stories, and tender moments. But as often happens, what seemed like an ordinary afternoon into something much bigger, a moment that would shake up everything Clara and her family thought they knew. As they recorded, the camera captured not only the words, but the looks, the small pauses, the subtle tremor in Helena's hands as she picked up her phone to help her granddaughter adjust the frame. Small details that at the time seemed just a normal part of the passing of the years, but which later would make perfect sense. That sweet lady who always seemed so present and so whole in fact was hiding secrets that had been kept for decades, secrets that could change Clara's life and that of her entire family forever. And it was at that moment, between one laugh and another, that Clara decided to ask a simple, innocent question, which no one could have imagined where it would lead. She asked, "Grandma, tell me something that no one else knows about you." Helena paused for a moment, her smile faded. Silence filled the kitchen, filling the space between them like a thick, mysterious fog. The granddaughter realized, perhaps for the first time, that behind that sweet gaze there was an entire world that remained hidden, a past that Helena had never shared. And in that emotion-laden silence, the truth began to emerge, threatening to shatter decades of silence and transforming a simple video into a portal to secrets no one was prepared to face. But what did Helena really hold? What story had she carried alone for so many years? What seemed like just a fun moment between granddaughter and grandmother was about to reveal a truth that would change everything forever. And while the images of the kitchen, illuminated by the evening light, continued to roll, the question Clara asked hung in the air, loaded with a mystery that you will soon discover. Because sometimes the deepest secrets are hidden exactly where we least expect them. And what happened after that afternoon forever changed the destiny of Clara, Helena, and everyone around them. But this is a story that deserves to be told slowly, step by step, so you can feel every emotion, every doubt, every surprise. Stay with me, because what comes next is something few have dared to show, and it will touch your heart in a way you never imagined. As Clara held her phone in her hand, recording everything casually, her goal was clear: to bring smiles and laughter to Grandma Helena, to capture that simple moment of affection and lightness to share with the world. She asked lighthearted, trying to break the natural silence that sometimes seemed to envelop this sweet lady. At first, Helena laughed easily. She told the childhood stories, memories of a distant time known only to her, and Clara laughed along, enchanted. The atmosphere was filled with a comfortable calm, a silent love that only long and genuine coexistence can create. But in a moment of playfulness, Clara decided to try something different, something that might make her grandmother open up even more. With a smile on her face and a sweet voice, she asked, "Grandma, tell me the biggest secret you've ever kept." At first, Helena let out a light laugh, almost carefree, as if she didn't want to pay much attention to the question. It was just a joke, Clara thought, something to lighten the mood. But then something changed. Grandma's smile slowly faded, and the sparkle in her eyes faded for a moment. The look that had once been full of life and warmth became distant, as if she were drifting off into memories she'd rather not revisit. The camera continued to roll, capturing every movement, every whisper of that scene that at that moment no one yet knew would be the turning point of the entire story. The surroundings seemed to grow quieter. Helena's breathing became heavier, more irregular, as if an invisible weight pressed down on her chest. The background music, which had been soft and welcoming until then, began to take on more tense, enveloping tones, foreshadowing that something serious was about to be revealed. And then, in a voice so low it almost sounded like a secret whispered to the wind, Helena said, "I'm not who you think I am." The impact of that sentence was immediate. Clara froze in front of her phone in disbelief at what she had just heard. Time seemed to slow down. Each second felt like an eternity. The simplicity of that sentence hid a world of mysteries and unanswered questions. Who, then, was this woman she called grandmother? What story did she hide behind that tired gaze and that gentle smile? The video, for a moment, sat there on the phone screen as if awaiting a decision. Clara knew she should perhaps delete that part, protect Helena from whatever might come next. But something inside her told her that this truth needed to be seen, needed to be shared. Without Helena knowing, the video was posted, What seemed like a simple moment of play and affection turned into a viral enigma, an invitation for everyone to ask themselves, who was Helena really? And the answer was just beginning to be revealed. Get ready, because what comes next will shake up everything you think you know about this family. Are you ready to discover the secret that has been hidden for decades? Within hours, the video Clara had posted on Impulse spread like wildfire. Millions of people watched the recording, shared it, commented on it, and tried to understand what was behind that simple moment between a granddaughter and her grandmother. Social media was abuzz with theories, opinions, and questions. Comments came from all over the country, even from places Clara would never have imagined. Some filled the post with laughing and heart emojis, others with curious questions and attempts to decipher Helena's expression in that strange moment. But amidst the multitude of messages, one unexpectedly caught Clara's attention. She was sitting in the living room, cell phone in hand, scrolling through the comments over and over again, when her eyes landed on a message that made her heart race. I know this woman. She disappeared over 50 years ago. Those words came as a shock. The silence in the room seemed amplified, as if the air itself had stopped to listen. Clara's heartbeat echoed in her headstrong, rapid, impossible to ignore. The suspenseful music, once soft, now seemed to vibrate within her, accompanying every pulse of her fear and curiosity. Who could that woman be? How could anyone recognize Grandma Helena, such a quiet, seemingly had disappeared so long ago, and claim the truth, which until then had been buried beneath layers of silence and oblivion, began to emerge slowly and inexorably. Helena, the sweet grandmother with a gentle smile, had run away from home when she was still young, not on a whim, not out of youthful rebellion, but to escape something terrible, a dark secret that she still carries close to her heart, a secret that not even Clara knows in detail. He changed his name, built a new life, and left everything and everyone behind, but he was never able to erase the scars of that painful past. And now that simple video, that moment of relaxation, had lit a flame that could ignite the entire story she had tried to hide for so long. Clara felt a mixture of emotions: fear, anxiety, a desire to protect her grandmother, but also an urgent need to understand. What was Helena trying to hide? Why didn't she ever talk about it? The family, previously peaceful, began to be shaken by questions that seemed to have no easy answers. And Clara knew the next step would be to discover the truth, not just for herself, but for everyone who loved Helena. But would the grandmother be ready to face this past? And you, what would you do if such a deep secret came to light overnight? The story is just beginning. In the next moment, we'll dive into Clara's search for the truth, a path full of twists, turns, and revelations no one expected. Get ready to discover the secrets that changed everything and could transform this family's lives forever. Clara sat there, staring at her phone screen. The video, which had started as an innocent joke, was now much more than that. That small moment of affection between granddaughter and grandmother had opened deep wounds, scars Helena had silently carried for decades. She realized, with a mixture of sadness and understanding, that it wasn't just her grandmother who was exposed. The whole family was faced with an invitation to face a truth that had been carefully kept hidden in the dark, away from eyes and questions. What once seemed like a simple gesture of love and fun has become a wide open door to a complex past, full of secrets, pain, and perhaps even redemption. Helena, with all her sweetness, had hidden not just a name, but an entire life built on fear, courage, and the desire to start over. Clara knew that moment would forever change the family's dynamics, and perhaps even the way each of them saw themselves in the world. As the slow, melancholic music filled the room, Clara reflected on the weight of these stories. Sometimes some truths seem too heavy to reveal. Perhaps there are secrets better kept hidden, but perhaps it's also exactly when we least expect it that these truths find their way in. They come to liberate, to transform, to make us look within with more courage and compassion. And it is at this point that life, with all its unpredictability, reminds us that there is no escaping the past, but that we also don't have to carry it alone. Clara decided that she would accompany her grandmother on this journey, with patience and love, respecting her time, and helping to build a path where the truth could finally be accepted, understood, and who knows, healed. Because deep down, we all have secrets. We all have untold stories that shape who we are. And sometimes the greatest act of love is being there when those stories finally come to light. Now we want to hear from you. Have you ever had to face a difficult truth within your family? How did you deal with it? Do you think some secrets should remain hidden, or that the truth should always come to light? Leave your opinion in the comments. Your experience may help others going through similar situations. And if this story touched your heart, don't forget to leave your like. This really helps promote the video and allows more people to learn about this exciting journey. If you're not already subscribed, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell. Here we always bring stories that move, inspire, and make you reflect. Thanks for watching this far. See you in the next video.